session, I would want you all to be on mute and keep your videos on if possible, because this is going to be more of an interactive session, and if I can see you, I think I can deliver better. So if you can just switch on your cameras, it would be great. And so just to take you through what this session is all about, I would really want you all to kind of I would want to share my own personal journey into what we are trying to implement as a part of our brand Swarasya, which is the idea of beauty inside out. And this is for the first time I would be sharing how this approach has come up and why it is so powerful. I'll be giving you some takeaways in terms of 5 dimensions that we keep talking about, which we call 5 dimensions of beauty, and some takeaways, quick takeaways that you can start implementing right away in your diet and lifestyle to see some changes happening to you. And we'll take it on from there. So just to give you a brief up about what Swarasya is before I get into my own journey and then take you deeper into what this approach is all about. So Swarasya is India's first beauty inside out brand, where we are trying to create an awareness about how when it comes to skincare, when it comes to hair health, when it comes to body health, when it comes to maintaining weight, or also about energy levels, how everything is also deeply correlated to a level where if you start working on yourself on the inside out, you actually don't need those that endless search for chemical skincare products, or looking for that solution. What do I do about my weight? What do I do about my skin? It automatically happens all by its own. You just need to create that deep rooted environment within your body, which only happens when you start to self-care, when you start to work on yourself from the inside out. So this is what we are trying to do at Swarasya, where our focus is beauty inside out, where on the outside we offer you skincare products which are very ancient in nature, and these formulations are driven from the oldest ancient cultures of the world, which include not just Indian culture but also global ancient cultures. Like a lot of our skincare formulations are coming from Oriental culture. Some of them are like even 1200-year-old, which were used by the queens of ancient times when cosmetic industry wasn't there. So the whole idea is, of course, apart from implementing or offering you a clean skincare range, we are trying to create a deep awareness about what is it that you can do on the outside as well as on the inside to make sure that you keep living ageless. So whatever I talk about here today, it's very deep rooted to your health. So this is the very first concept that I really want to put across before I start talking about all of this, because when I got into this, when I started practicing, this was nowhere in my mind that I want to transform my skin health, or I want to transform my hair health, or I want to transform my body. Nothing at all. It was just that, one, I was studying, and secondly, I was practicing. And over years, I realized how that practice, just practicing, created so deep rooted foundation for me, where everything started to change. Not just in terms of skin, hair, body, but also in terms of my internal health conditions like PCOD, PCOS, I reverted, which was there with me for years and years and years. And as I got in my later 30s and now in 40s, I could actually reverse back my PCOD and PCOS, which was never ever the case in my earlier 20s and 30s. So this is what broadly, we are trying to do at Swarasya. Um, so okay, so Swarasya is one part of what we are doing. Along with that, there is another platform that we've created, which is by the name Yogana. We keep talking of this platform. This platform is all about creating awareness. So we are going ahead uh, uh, rather above the concept of beauty. Of course, beauty is related to health. Beauty is related to what's going on in the body. But there is a deeper or a level up concept, which is about ageless living, which is, if you learn to live ageless, if you realize, if you understand, if you start to incorporate the concepts of what keeps you ageless, what keeps your body clean within, what keeps your body free flowing from within, believe me, you automatically create a base for yourself in the body where age will not touch you very easily. And the beauty of this is, you just have to keep living this way. You don't have to have a special focus on, like we have in modern days. Our foods are separate, our skincare is separate, our exercising is separate, and then we also worry about those wrinkles coming over and those skin issues coming over here and there. So this approach is so deeply integrated, where you don't actually have to worry about anything at all. You just have to live this way, and automatically things will start changing and transforming for you. The only key is persistence. The only key is keep living this way of life. So this is where I start with. But before I take you into this 5-dimensional approach, what it is, and I give you some practical takeaways, what you can actually do to live this way, I would really want you to first understand where is this approach coming from. So I'll take you back to my college days when I was studying and I was in a hostel, and that was for the very first time that I started to experience some gut issues, and these were such deep-rooted gut issues that I had to be hospitalized for these gut issues, and it was nothing more than gastritis. So any doctor that I visited or any practitioner that I went to, who kind of tried to figure out, where the problem is coming from, where actually is the problem, and got some ultrasounds done, met some doctors, and ultimately every doctor ended up telling me that you don't need to worry because it's nothing, it's just gas. Okay. Nobody ever told me that gas or that gut issue can be so powerful that it can just completely take over how I think, how I live, how my body is behaving, how my skin is behaving, how my hair is behaving. And this is such a disintegrated approach in the modern terms that we don't actually relate to it. It is only when gradually in my journey I studied various ancient modalities coming together, I realized how deeply it is, related to, to, to the deep rooted aspects of you, which starts with what goes within you, starting from your foods and how these foods get processed. Once they are processed, how they work within your body, everything has such a deep connection to how you look and feel, how your skin behaves, how your hair behaves, how your body behaves. But that did not happen for me in a day. I did suffer for about next 10 to 15 years looking for the solutions. And in the meantime, my problems just kept on growing and growing and growing. Like, it started with the gut problem. And as a person, uh, what I know that I was a very happy-go-lucky kind of a person. But as soon as I got into my college and I started having these issues, I started to have a lot of emotional issues as well. And which was never my nature at all, but it just started to happen. And I was just clueless what's going on. It started with my gut, which I'd never realized, and then gradually it went on to taking control of my mind in terms of giving me huge lot of anxieties. With the anxiety came fears. With anxiety came worry. To an extent that at this point in time, after maybe after I did my college and then I graduated to be an IT professional and got into my job, I was a very chronically anxiety prone person, very high on panic state, very high on anxiety, and with a lot of severe gastric issues. And my skin was never in control. I had a very oily kind of skin, breakouts happening every now and then without knowing. And specifically, if it was any specific event, a wedding that I had to attend or a party that I had to attend, those breakouts had to happen. And I did not ever realize like what is that puzzle behind when an occasion is there that breakout has to happen. And I think we all experience such kind of concerns. So this is how, for next 15 about 15 years I kept living without any clue, like, trying to take control of my gut in a different way, try to take control of my anxieties in a different way, and also trying to take control of my skin health in a different way. Three different areas, three different practitioners working on me with their own approach in three different directions. And the irony is that search never ended. Those problems never went away. Anxieties did not ever go away. I had to be on medication also for some time, but anxieties were like, they were kind of eating me up. And it was all showing on my face. I used to look very frail. I used to look very tired and fatigued all the time because, too much of thinking, too much of anxiety does take control on how you look, how you feel. It ends up giving you a lot of haggard kind of a feeling, a very, not very fresh kind of a feeling. So this is where actually I was when my journey into wellness started. And for next almost, I guess, 11 years, I kept working as an IT professional. And side by side, in the meantime, I also had gotten into the wellness field with my journey into macrobiotics. And when I got into macrobiotics again, because I was studying, I had to kind of, work on myself, because by the end of the program I had to show the results, and that's how I would have gotten my certification. So again, the agenda for me was not to transform myself, transform my skin, or transform my hair health, or transform my body. The agenda was not that. The agenda was because I was so keenly passionate into learning what this modality is all about. Whatever I was studying, I started implementing and incorporating in my lifestyle, on, as a lifestyle. Like, I really gave up my old ways of living. I gave up my old patterns of eating. When I say old patterns of eating, old patterns which have been into my generations for years, like the way my mother used to cook or the way my mother used to eat, or even a grandparents. So, some hereditary things that we keep following as a part of our culture or rituals without realizing whether or not they are good for us, or is it just the rituals that we're following. So I gave up all of that and I started living a very different way of eating. So till that time, I was not into yoga. I was just into foods and implementing all of it in my daily routine on a regular basis. Within 1 year, by the time I completed my practice and I was practicing all of it, I realized that those gut issues, and I used to be severely bloated, severely bloated all the time. Like my structure was always lean. I was not on a very fatty side ever, but and that was also the time when I had delivered my second daughter, and my weight had gone up to say 75 kgs or something. And being a fitness freak, that 75 kgs was something that I was not liking much. And that's where actually how I got into wellness, along with also working in the IT as an IT professional. So by that time, when I started implementing all of this along with my job as well, and this was along with my job, which means the stress of job was already there. It was just the foods that I was working with. So which means dimension number one, which I will take you through once we reach at that point. But we talk of 5 dimensions in Swarasya, which actually have a huge role to play when it comes to how you look and feel in the long run. So it's not just about today or tomorrow. It is about how do you see yourself aging in another 20 years or 25 years or 30 years. And when I say aging, it not only means what shows on your face or skin, what shows as wrinkles or what shows as hair loss or body getting out of control, but which also means how in good shape your internal body assets are, how good body functioning is, how good your digestion is, how powerful liver is to process all those toxins, how good your processing power at the kidney level is. So working thinking of all these concepts from the perspective of what's going on within in the body. So within 1 year of practicing all of this, I realized that within 1 year, that bloating, which was like, and I mean, I don't generally shy away from telling that it used to be something like, it seemed like 5 or 6 month old pregnancy because of the kind of bloating that I used to carry all the time. And I was a health freak since beginning. So diet wise, I used to take care of myself. Still, that bloating was never in control ever, and I couldn't understand. Like, I tried out gymming, I tried out protein diet, I tried out calorie counted diet, I tried out everything that I could. Nothing ever worked at all. So this is, this is how it all started. But when I got into macrobiotics and when I completely transformed the way I cook, the way seasonally I changed my foods, the way I understand these deep-rooted concepts, that how when it comes to foods and the way you implement these foods in your daily routine, there is a science behind it. Once you start to understand the science and start to change your ways of eating, ultimately your body starts to change. So it starts to change at the level of digestion. It starts to change at the level of liver, at the level of blood cleaning up, at the level of your body getting more alkaline. And when these internal changes happen, it all of it starts to show up outside as your skin health, outside as your hair health, outside as automatically that bloating going down and your weight coming back into control. So this is how I understood when I started, which was a practical life that I was living at that point in time. But within that 1 year of practicing macrobiotics and living this way, that bloating, which was there for last 10 to 15 years continuously, just went off. I mean, and there was nothing specific or special that I was doing. It was just that whatever I was learning, I was implementing. That's it. I did cut down on all the hereditary habits that I had been carrying from my, from the generations, and I just believed and lived by what I was learning. That's it. So dimension number one, nourish, was what I was working with. Other 4 dimensions, I was completely clueless about how deeply they are also related to it. But those 5 dimensions came up in my journey when I progressed further into my studies into different ancient modalities. So after 1 year, I realized my body was changed. That weight, which was such a problem for me to lose on a regular basis when I tried calorie diet or a protein diet, I did not ever had to struggle. And that point about say 11 years back when I lost that weight, till today that weight is not back. Even if I binge out, even if but I do it mindfully now. Now I understand the pattern. So even if I go out and binge, or just enjoy or be, in the festivals, do whatever I want to do, Still, if I come back and start living my own this way of life, automatically the weight switches back, the bloating goes off, the skin starts to get clear automatically now. So, you know, what I'm trying to say is you really, it's a practical experience that you really have to create that base for yourself within the body, and you have to keep building onto that base. It's not going to happen in a day. It's not a quick fix. It is not what modern way of life teaches us, that have a protein diet and you'll build your muscles in 3 months, or have a calorie diet and you'll lose weight in 3 months. Of course that works, but that's a very, very superficial way of working on yourself, because it cuts down on your weight by decreasing your energy. It doesn't work on these body systems. It doesn't work on improving digestion or improving your liver functioning or making your body alkaline. So within 1 year, huge changes at body and mind level is what I experienced. My anxieties were gone. As soon as my gut health got better, my anxieties were gone. And those on and off medications that I had to take because of high anxiety were all off completely without any effort. It was all gone. A solution which I never ever found with any of the doctors or practitioners that I had been consulting in last 10 to 15 years to find out the answer. My skin miraculously got clear. I used to have very, these pus-filled acne, and my hair quality used to be really bad, and bloating, I just told you, everything just went off automatically. Then there came a point when I decided to go ahead and get deeper into yoga, because see, foods is one part of it. This is where I'm talking of dimension number 2, which we talk of in Swarasya, which is about body work. So again, this was all the learnings that I was accumulating, and later we came up with this 5-dimension approach that we keep talking about. So I got enrolled for yoga, and for initially I was not a very athletic kind of a person. So when I got into yoga, it was really heavy on my body. I mean, it really it was very, I would say, painful. There were times when I had to have painkillers, because I was doing teachers training, and when you're doing teachers training, you really have to work on yourself, continuously working for 2 to 3 hours. And for somebody who already had two kids and never had any kind of exercising routine ever in life, but within 1 year of practicing yoga, I realized that my body started to tone up. It started to shape up with the same kind of eating lifestyle that I had learned as a part of mathematics. And that's where, for the very first time, within those years, I realized that what I had understood, or I had been practicing in my previous years as a protein diet or as a calorie diet, or those modern fads of living, were so superficial. It was effective, but it was so superficial that it's just working at the surface level. It is not doing things which can really make me feel, flow freely within, or make my body cleaner. So one concept that we always keep talking about in Swarasya is a clean and free flowing body is an ageless body. So that's the mantra there, clean and free flowing body. If you start to understand this concept, you start to draw your limitations around this, this concept. And these 5 dimensions actually help you draw your limits, and to understand how you can practically implement practices which can help you really go to a level where you can keep your body, you can start to live a clean way of life, rather than saying that I'm going for a detox for a week, or doing a 2-day detox or a 1-day detox, because your body needs cleanse all the time. Your body is producing so many toxins. Even if you're not putting in toxins, still your body is producing toxins. Your urine, sweat, carbon dioxide, the air that you're exhaling, it's nothing but toxin coming out of the body all the time. So our body is a toxin producing machine, even if you're not doing anything to it. So we have to understand this concept. Once we know that, even if we are doing the best of what we can, still the body will produce its toxins. So which means we have to continuously keep making effort to keep body clean all the time, which will only happen when you start to have focus on all these 5 areas that we're talking about. At the physical level, it happens with the kind of foods that you choose to eat, the way you choose to eat, the kind of foods that you wish to implement basis how the seasons change, how you cook, how much cooked food you consume, how much raw food you consume. So all of these concepts actually have a huge role to play when it comes to keeping your body cleaner from inside, and also making sure that your blood pH is alkaline. So that's a very, very important concept. I'll talk of it once I talk of the 5 dimensions. So the second dimension, I realized, as I told you, like when I got into yoga, and that's where I realized that if foods is something that can really transform you completely, that can completely transform your body and mind to a level which I experienced within that 1 year of practicing mathematics, yoga is a step above. Like, you know, if you decide to get on to transforming yourself, think of foods as a secondary concept, think of exercising as the first concept. This has been my practical learning and experience into living this way of life for last almost a decade. Why? Because as I told you, your body is a toxin producing machine all the time. Like every second you are exhaling, every second the carbon dioxide is coming out. And that carbon dioxide, if you retain inside, if you are not exercising, if your lung capacity is not good, in that case, you're not eliminating 100% of what that carbon dioxide can do to you. And that retained carbon dioxide in your daily life, how do you experience that? In the form of brain fogginess, in the form of tiredness, when you're working for too long without any movement, or are in front of the system for a very long time, you feel that dizziness or tiredness is nothing but too much accumulation of carbon dioxide which is not getting out of your system, creating all those toxic effects in the body in the small run. So on a daily basis, these are the effects that may happen when these toxins are not coming out. And in the long run, these the same toxins, because they start accumulating, start to impact different body systems, start to impact maybe your gut functioning, start to impact your liver functioning, start to impact poison up your bloodstream. And if all these areas are toxin filled, ultimately it is going to start to show up internally in all these these health concerns, like, you know, not the chronic ones, but something like nagging health concerns, something like tiredness, something like PCOD, PCOS, something like cold cough, um, or maybe, you know, your tendencies to get uh, during weather changes, your tendency is to get sick, specifically when these season transitions happen. So this is nothing but your body communicating that somewhere inside things are so highly accumulated, and whichever area are these toxins accumulated is where you start to feel more effect of so-called diseases. Like somebody who's accumulating a lot of toxins because of their dietary patterns, because of their lifestyle habits, or also because of their negative emotions. If all those toxins are getting accumulated at the respiratory level, these diseases in the modern language are called maybe respiratory disorders. If you're accumulating all these toxins, and these toxins start to hamper your digestive issues, in modern terminology, these diseases are called gastrointestinal diseases. Similarly, if these toxins get accumulated in your joints, in modern terminology, we call it arthritis or inflammatory disorders. So everything that begins in your body that shows on the outside, on your skin, or in your hair health, or in your body, or bloating, or whatever is going on inside, cumulatively is nothing but toxins getting accumulated in different parts of the body, and the flow of the body getting disturbed. For example, we have a lot of fluids moving inside the body. So like blood is moving, right? And this blood has to move all across the body to give that radiance that we're looking for. Anywhere where the clogging happens, where the area becomes narrow, or where the accumulations of toxins happen to a level where they block the area, the blood flow or the air flow or the liquid flow gets disrupted, is where that specific area starts to die off. So, you know, the in the natural health world, the concept that we understand is that any area which doesn't get a good supply of blood starts to become a dead area. So, you know, that's how I can describe that. So when you're not moving, a lot of circulation or blood flow is not going towards your legs, ultimately you start to feel get these weak leg symptoms. So if or on the face, if that blood flow gets disrupted, or because you have so many toxins, your body is just struggling to clean off those toxins, and that blood supply is not able to reach your skin, is where you start to get your wrinkles, is where you start to get your dry skin, is where you start to get all these skin and hair concerns, hair follicles, hair fall. When blood supply is not sufficient, your hair follicles, they die off because they don't get their supply of oxygen and nutrition. So these are very, very foundational concepts. I'm trying to just explain it in a very layman language. But this is where I come from, where I actually have lived and experienced and understood how this entire psychology works, where we don't need to get into how modern science makes us look in terms of those technical terms and chemical terms and all that. If you just start to understand this in a very simple language, blood and oxygen has to reach your cells in a free flowing manner, and the body has to be clean. You're sorted, whether it is a skin health, whether it is your hair health or body health, or any kind of acute or chronic health condition. So this is where the concept lies. Coming on to our third dimension, You know, I was done with my food studies, I was done with my yoga studies, and then over time, gradually, I realized that my emotions had already changed. Like, you know, the kind of person that I became was not the same person that I was when I used to be high on anxiety, or when I used to be high on these panic state and panic conditions. And this was also the time when I was reading a lot, and I was, you know, getting deeper into yoga philosophy. I was getting deeper into understanding different ancient modalities, not just yoga, but I was learning and studying traditional Chinese medicine. Macrobiotics was something that I had already practiced. Yoga is something that I already had practiced and learned together. And then later came in Ayurveda, which I'm studying right now. So when I joined the underlying philosophy of what is it that's working, or what brought about change within me, which no doctor or no practitioner could ever, you know, help me with for last 10 to 15 years that I had been struggling with. I realized it was my choices which had brought in that difference. Consistency and my choice and will to keep living this way of life had brought all these changes, which I did not realize as in the initial part of my journey, but because I kept living it, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, and I realized that age was something that I had very easily arrested. Like even today, if you know, skin health is something that I don't need to bother about. Hair health is something that, of course, you know, we have to take care of our health because we are exposed to a lot of toxins. But uh, apart from my hair health specifically, I don't need to worry about my skin or body at all. Even if I'm binging, even if you know, even if I'm in my early 40s, does not actually bother. And I see a lot of peers going through the same problem where immediately as you get into your later 30s and 40s, your skin starts to change, your body starts to change, and you don't know why. It just starts to get automatically so much out of control, of your own control, because what the kind of way you had been, say, 5 years back, your body is still not the same. Why? Because by that time you have accumulated so many toxins within. By that time there have been so many blockages within, and these blockages start to show up in all these small little concerns, health concerns that start to come up. Migraines, as I told you, like, you know, cold, cough, flus, digestive issues. All these are nothing but signals from the body that something is blocked somewhere. So you know, that's how that has been actually my journey, where I lived it, I studied it, I lived it, and then I experienced it. And then when I got into my practice, where I started taking up dietary consultations based on macrobiotics. Um, Again, this was maybe, you know, by chance, or it was meant to be. My first case was a severe eczema patient, and I used to take up a lot of you know, these sessions in schools and corporates about this way of living, holistic way of living, and of course these ancient practices of living rather. So in one of these sessions, a mother of a child was listening to me, and she was a severe eczema patient for about a decade. And for the very first time, so after that session, she reached out to me for her eczema condition. And rather, she was my first case also, from the dietary perspective. When she reached out to me, her condition was really bad. I mean, uh, for me to see her condition where skin was literally peeling off was like, I mean, if you know, I could feel that just by looking at it was not a very healthy condition to see. What would be going on with a person who's actually experiencing it? And this is what, when we got deeper into conversation, she told me that she had to leave her job because of those complexes coming in, because skin health, hair health, and body health is something that's kind of, you know, that's your confidence booster for every woman. So that's where for the very first time I realized that, you know, when it is about appearance, every woman is so um, possessive about her appearance that anything goes wrong with either skin, hair, or body, she may not show up, you know, all what she is going through upright, but somewhere at the deeper level, at the subconscious level, uh, uh, you somewhere, you know, your self confidence starts to come to a low. And in this case, it had gone to a low where she had stopped meeting people, she had stopped going out, she was more of a home stuck kind of a person. So we just got deeper into her case, and then she told me like she had been trying a lot of solutions, oral solutions and topical solutions, went to about n number of doctors in last 10 years, but temporarily things change, but it's not getting it better at the root level. Rather, the condition is worsening even after the treatments that she had done with the best doctors ever. So frankly, I was apprehensive to take her case, and I'll be very open and honest about it, because this was a severe case for me, and for me to take this up as a first case I was frankly not very confident. But then I had a conversation with my macrobiotic teacher, And he recommended that, see, when modern way of looking at things is very different. Modern way of looking at things is very targeted. Like, you know, if you have an acne, the dermatologist is just going to treat up your acne. Or if you have any hair concern, the hair specialist will just treat your hair. Maybe he or she might give you some topical solutions or medication that will just work on that specific part of the body. But you have to always remember that body is integrated. If it is your hair, it is related to your kidneys. If it is your kidneys, it will show up in your eye health. If you're wrinkling, it is to do with the drying up of internal juices. If so, you know, everything that goes on in the body at any part of the body has a deep what do you call it, implication, or has a very deep rooted effect on what shows on the outside. So what he told me was, if you start to clean her up from within, if you start to work with her in a manner where you clean up her from inside, automatically outside will start to show up the results, whether it is acne, or whether it is eczema, whether it is psoriasis. And take up the case, go with that confidence and implement what you've learned. You've brought about changes for yourself. Now this is the time to bring up changes for the others. So with that confidence, I started. And it was such a phenomenal case. 10 years of her eczema. Within 21 days of her starting the program, where we cleaned her up completely on the outside and on the inside. And on the outside, it was for the 10 years back, it was for the very first time, the same formulations that we are doing in as a part of our skincare products. These were the same formulations which we used to do at a very small level at that time. And I used to give her those formulations on the outside to apply, and we cut down on everything that could have been giving her all that allergic reaction converting into eczema on the outside. And on the inside, we cleaned up her diet along with some part of uh, movement practices that we incorporated. Her 80% of her eczema was gone in 21 days, which did not ever go in last 10 years. So this is that powerful. This is where I got even more confidence to, this is the beginning of journey of Swarasya, rather, because this is where we realized how so powerful this way of living is. And the irony is that a lot of it is coming from ancient Indian way of looking at things, ancient Indian modalities. A lot of it is coming from Ayurveda, a lot of it is coming from yoga. And in the Western culture, a lot of people are taking it back, implementing it, and bringing about changes. And in India, we are just so clueless about this. We are rather moving on to Western ways of taking care of ourselves and looking at ourselves in a very disintegrated way, like skin separate, hair separate, body bloating separate, gut separate. Nothing is separate. Everything is also deeply correlated. So this is where the beginning of Swarasya happened. And this is where the roots of 5 dimensions also started to happen. So this is where I actually would want to talk a little more about and giving you some clues, practical clues, like what I did and what made a difference to me. So for about next few years, I kept working with a lot of clients, for different concerns, but my approach always had never been to look their case from the perspective of calorie counting, or from the perspective of protein diet, which is, or any fat diet, even a keto diet or whatever, like, whatever modern fat has to offer to us. My approach, whether it was a case of diabetes, or it was a case of gastro issues, or it was a case of skin or hair health, my approach was always, rather till today, it's the same, where I try to figure out what is it that is causing the toxins from within, what is it that is creating that block of energy inside the body. Because this is, if you start to open up these channels, whatever is there starts to reverse back, because your body organs start to get back their own strength. So with the same approach is where once I lived it, once we experienced it, once we had implemented it on a lot of cases that I had been working on different modalities, like, in my practice, macrobiotics was a major part of how I was approaching foods. But apart from that, yoga was something that I was deeply working with my clients, along with the modern part of understanding that nutritionally we don't go down. So I'm a clinical nutritionist as well, so that's where I got some leverage, where I could design a pattern to see that we are incorporating a diet plan which is high on alkalinity, which is high on cleansing your body, but still sufficient or complete enough in terms of giving you enough right kind of nutrients that your body needs all the time. So this is where I brought about the two things together. Ancient approach of eating and living merged with a modern approach of calculating things in terms of making sure that you're getting enough calcium in your diet every single day, which means choosing foods or implementing foods in a diet plan which give you all these nutrients is what I did work with a lot of clients throughout my practice journey. And then later I got into raw and living food. So as a person today, I am about 80% raw, I eat about 80% raw, and it's only 20% that I go ahead with the good way of living. But this is what keeps me energetic. This is what keeps my skin or my hair health or my body health completely in shape, irrespective of what I do, whether it is too much of, whether I'm working the whole day or I'm overworking, nothing actually makes much of a difference to my appearance now, majorly because internally I've spent those 10 years to clean myself and maintain that cleanliness in those 10 years. Which brings us to this concept that this is more of a lifestyle. It is not a quick fix. It's not something like 3 months of a weight loss diet plan and you're done and then you get back to your old ways and things start working for you. So this is where the 5-dimensional approach, I have devised, which is about working on yourself in 5 different areas that form you as a whole. So these 5 dimensions are a subset of 4 parts of who you are: your physical self, your mental self, your emotional self, and your spiritual self. So when I say spiritual, I am not referring to, so I want to be really clear on that. I'm not talking of religion here. I'm not talking of rituals here. When I say spirituality here means how deeply are you self-connected? How deeply do you understand yourself? How deeply, say for example, you just had fried food, for example, and after having fried food, you feel very lazy and tired, right? You know that you will feel lazy and tired, but because your taste buds are so attuned to eating fried, or because it is coming as a ritual in your family, or this is what you lived on, whatever be your reason, you still have it, but you don't realize that eating that fried food after a certain time gives you such a kind of feeling that you don't have energy to get up and think in a fresh way or start doing up your things. You need some time, rest time, till the time that fried food gets digested and you have enough energy for yourself to utilize in the other areas of life. So this is a small example of self-realization where you start to connect with everything that you do and what kind of energy it gives to you. Like fried food will give you lethargic or dull energy. Maybe a glass of smoothie in the morning will give you a very positive, a very vibrant, uplifting kind of an energy. So this is what I mean by spirituality. So 4 areas of you coming together, which we have devised under Swarasya as a 5-dimensional approach, which is the very first dimension is nourish, second one is body work, third one is emotions, fourth one is self-realization, and fifth one is energy. And these 5 dimensions are in their sequence. Like it starts with foods because it is outside you, right? Then we come on to body work, which is you, like foods outside you, body work about your physical self, emotions, your inner layer, which is about how you think, what kind of feelings you have, what kind of emotions you go through on a regular basis. Then even more deeper layer, which is self-realization, where you actually start to understand yourself, because most of the conditions, whether it be health conditions or skin conditions or hair conditions, majorly are happening in today's times because we are disconnected with our own self. We somewhere subtly we do realize what is good for us and what is not good for us, but still we do not have that control on our senses to choose what is good for us. So this is self-realization and the deepest most layer of you, which is the energy part of you. So to give you the practical, so I'll not get deeper into what these dimensions are. If you get interested into these dimensions, I would highly recommend to go to our YouTube channel. We have very deeply covered these 5 dimensions in separate separate topics or sessions where I've actually taken you deeper into what these dimensions are and what are the concepts behind how you can start living this way of life. But to give you practical tips on how you can start living these 5 dimensions, it starts from outside of you. It starts from making your body alkaline, choosing foods which are more on the alkaline side, which keep a balance of nutrients within your body, and which does not rip off your body of important nutrients. And this happens when your body gets too high on acidity. And if you are by any chance high on protein diet, protein will rip you off many minerals in the, so of course it will give you all those components that you need to build up your muscles, but in the long run it will rip your body of those important nutrients that form your hair. Like calcium in Ayurveda is very important component, or hair is considered to be a byproduct of calcium. So by chance if you are low on calcium, automatically whatever you keep doing on the outside for your hair health, it's not going to improve, because unless your calcium reserves are good to a certain level, that energy of excess calcium will not get passed on to your hair to build good quality of hair. So those nutrients have to be preserved. that preservation will only happen when you start to live more of an alkaline way of eating. To give you a pattern how you can get more alkaline, it's a very good idea not to start your day with a tea, with a cup of tea. Rather, start your day with a cup of lemon water and a glass of smoothie. This is doing two kinds of actions. One, of course, it is giving you enough alkaline nutrients in the body, which will start to clean up your body. And because you're having smoothie is going in with a lot of rich kind of a fiber, and this fiber is much needed to clean up your body at the deep rooted level wherever those toxins are accumulated. So if you just remember, I told you, like, wherever those toxins get accumulated, if it is in the respiratory tract or if it is in the digestion or if it is in the joints, is where you start to develop all these health concerns, which also gradually start to show up on your skin, because that flow of energy gets blocked, and your skin, different parts of your face are connected to different organ systems in the body. And this is a very deep rooted concept of Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine both. So the more you keep your body clean by including smoothie as first food in your meal, you can start to get onto this path of cleaning yourself. This is the the very beginning of how you start to live this way. Having said that, the second thing that you can do really deeply for yourself is trying to get off any kind of refined sugars, refined flours, refined products that you come across. I mean, most of our pantry today, about 50 to 60% of the pantry is all full of all that junk kind of stuff. Of course, because a lot of women are working, and we don't have that. Uh, Cooking is something that might take a little more time, but there are ways you can implement it. Like, pre-planning is something that goes a long way in making sure that you cook at home. You don't binge onto all these stuff, because in the short term, of course, you might feel some energy happening with all these foods. In the long run is where you start to, and specifically for women, I have realized in my practice, also for myself also, as you start to get into your late 30s, your beauty gets out of control for you completely. I mean, whatever assets you had been carrying for in your 20s and 30s, late 30s and 40s is the time you start to lose out on everything. You start to get onto the path of aging very, very quickly if you do not create a right base for yourself in your 20s and 30s. Having said that, if you are in your 40s and you start now onwards, it's never too late, because your body, as soon as it starts to get cleaner, automatically the reversals start to happen in the body, as long as you are consistent and persistent about living this way of life. So getting off sugars is one of the best things that you can do to make sure that your aging it gets arrested. Then consuming a lot of water. I mean, when I say lot of, about say 3 to 4 liters is a good amount. Preferably warm water will go a long way in supporting your that cleanliness factor that we're talking about, and that free flow factor that we're talking about. So from the food perspective, another practice that I would highly recommend, we all know that, but we don't know how powerful, why we have to we should be practicing all of these things. Having your dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. It's not just a phrase, it's not just something that we keep listening, and of course we don't, most of us do not follow, but this is one thing that you start to follow. It might take a little time for you to get adjusted to this pattern, maybe 15 to 20 days or a month, or 15 or 2 months. But if you get onto this pattern, you will see your face cleaning up amazingly. You will start to see your hair is getting better. You will start to see your bloating automatically going down. Just one change, even if you don't change anything in your diet, just if you make sure that during bedtime your digestion is at rest, is where you will see a lot of cleanliness automatically getting induced by your own body. You don't have to even do anything extra for your body. Your body will do it for yourself, for you on its own. So these are some of the tips that will go a long way in supporting you from the dimension number one perspective, which is nourish. Second dimension, which is about body work. Consider this dimension even more important than the nourish perspective. Foods are important, but putting all your energies into food is something that will ultimately start to age you even more, even if you're consuming the bestest of foods. Why? Because again, one concept is foods, good foods going in, nutritious foods going in. The other important concept is whatever goes in should not be accumulated. So even if it is good foods, but is not being processed well by your body, is getting accumulated in the body, even if that is a salad, even if it is a soup, even if it is, say, fruits, nuts, or bestest of foods. But if they are not coming out of the body, the excess is not coming out of the body, it's becoming toxin in the body. So elimination is the very first thing that you need to focus on, even before you start to decide on to going on any kind of a dietary pattern, which again is not talked about in the modern understanding of looking at things. Body work will support your elimination when you get into, and that's why like I'm a very strong proponent of yoga, for the simple reason. I mean, gymming is also good, but then I don't think I'm more of a gymming kind of a person. Yoga is something. Why? Because yoga, if you kind of shed off all your layers and you see your body as a connection of pipes inside the body, right? Like if you look at your vessels, if you look at your nerves, if you look at what is it, from where liquids, solids, or gases flow within your body, it's nothing but those pipe channels, right? And these pipe channels, when they get clogged, is where the accumulation start to happen within the body. How and why yoga is practically powerful and important is because when you get into yoga practices and those different postures, what it is doing is it's kind of working on different parts of the body in a way that it's kind of ringing those those pipes inside the body. So whatever is accumulated in those small narrow pipes inside the body, for which we do not have a brush available to clean off, yoga does that work for you, and that's why it keeps your body internally clean and free flowing all the time, which no other exercising form can do for you. Gymming cannot do that for you, or jogging cannot do that for you. Only yoga can do that for you because of its synchronization of breath, because of air that goes in, it creates pressure. With that pressure, and when you ring the body in specific postures inside the body, with that pressure, the whatever cloggings are there start to open up. So from the body work perspective, if I have to give you a takeaway, practice yoga, get into yogic practices, or if yoga is something that you cannot do, at least start somewhere. If gymming is something that works for you, go gymming, or walking works for you, go walking. At least start somewhere and gradually start getting into other forms of practices to make sure that your body is clean out from within. Good yogic practices from the beauty perspective specifically, if I have to talk of the concepts, the idea is that blood should reach each and every part of the cell. It is only possible when your circulation is at its peak, which means practices like Surya Namaskar, which make the circulation reach each and every part of the cell, because you are moving in, you are moving in a flow. Sometimes you're standing, sometimes you're going back in Surya Namaskar, sometimes you're moving forward, sometimes you're getting down, and then you're coming up. So because of that flow of Surya Namaskar, automatically your body is getting into, those pipes are getting into a flow, which is also opening up, which is making sure that the circulation is reaching each and every part of the body. It's getting stimulated. So circulation is the very first key when it comes to good skin and good hair, and of course, maintained body. Then the second concept, if skin and hair health is your concern, inversions is the second concept that will take you deeper into making sure that your skin, hair, and hair health is goes to a different level. Inversions is where your head is below your heart, or where something like a headstand, or as simple as you bending down, where your head goes down and you bend down towards your feet, because the pressure of circulation goes downwards. That's where the blood circulation goes downwards. That is where, with that circulation, your skin cells and your hair follicles get the nutrition and oxygen that they need. So body work perspective, very important. Exercising, I would highly recommend yoga, and specifically focusing on these two concepts that I just talked about. Apart from that, at least twice a week, doing something like an oil massage for your body goes a long way in keeping you ageless. I cannot emphasize enough. And one of the important practices that Ayurveda talks about is Abhyanga practice, which is nothing but body oiling, at least, if not twice a week, at least once a week. So at least once a week, definitely do it. But if possible, at least twice or thrice a week, if you can do that, you will be amazed how beautifully your dry skin or dull skin starts to bloom. It's not going to happen in a day. As I told you, it's more of a lifestyle, but keep doing it. Give yourself a month's time. Practicing the other things also that we're talking from the perspective of other dimensions also, like focus on your on the nourish part, where you start your day on an alkaline note, and then from the body work perspective, and then of course from the nourish perspective, again making sure that your meals are lighter in the evenings, and um, there is a gap between your meals and your sleep time. Moving on to body work dimension, where you focus on circulation, where you focus on inversions, and you focus on oiling your body. Very important. Specifically, as you get in your late 30s, our body starts to get drier. That dryness gets only in control with that oiling that you do on your body. So that's from the bodywork perspective. The third dimension from the emotions perspective is, of course, this is a long route. Emotions cannot be controlled in one day, but I can tell you, uh, being on one side of the spectrum when I used to be very high on anxiety and worry and fears and whatnot, and now being on the other side, what really worked very well for me was my journey really started on a very good note when within that 1 year where not only my body but somewhere my mind also transformed from high anxiety to at least my medications got stopped, right? So foods do have an impact. Food energy, the pranic energy that we keep talking about, the sattvic foods do have that element of uplifting your mind, keeping your moods in control, keeping your mind in control, and it's powerful. Practice it. Don't give up. Start. If you start from day one, don't expect that day 10 things will change. Keep living it. 1 day, 2 day, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 7 months, 8 months, 1 year is where you see how beautifully things have changed for you. So this is again coming from the practical experience, but having studied this for last 10 years now and working with different clients on these concepts, I realized that at least 1 year is the time that you need to give yourself to see huge changes that have already happened within you. So 1 year is the minimum time frame. Having said that, if you start living this way of life within 7 to 10 days of starting to live this way, you start to see good changes happening to you. At some level, things start to change and they start to get deeper and set deeper with regular practice, with persistence, the way you keep doing it on a regular basis. So from the emotions perspective, when you start get onto a food journey where you start to make your body more alkaline, and you get onto a body work journey where you give some self-love to your body, where you oiling is nothing but you're connecting with your own self. Your mind starts to get in control. You start to feel happy. You start to feel positive. Then when you get into yogic practices, a level of detox start to happen. You start to get into inversions. Your circulation reaches to each and every part of the body. Your body starts to feel energized in each and every part of the body. Automatically, the mind starts to feel positive. It starts to get better. It is also the journey of your emotions, your emotional health and your mental health starting to change gradually with all these practices that you start to incorporate. These are some of the practices that you do from the perspective of exercise and foods and outside self-care. But apart from that, some practices that really helped me to vent out my emotions and get onto a level where my thinking got completely got onto a different way, where so whatever manifestation that you see in the form of whatever we talk about from these 5 dimensions, or in the form of posts that we keep doing, which is a very different aspects that we keep bringing in, is something that I wasn't born with, frankly, right? It is something that when I experienced, my mind changed, and that's where automatically my inclination or my thought process got to a level that now I think only this way. It's not that I'm reading it somewhere or I'm coming prepared in a way. It's something that I have already actually imbibed as a part of my personality. But that happened because my body got cleaner and automatically my mind got cleaner. That energy travels to the mind, where now mind automatically thinks positive. I don't need to worry about all those anxieties and fears and whatever emotional issues that I had in the past. So I can tell you it all happens automatically. You just need to create that right environment within your body. Internally, when things start to change automatically, outside, whether it is your skin or your hair or your body, will be so much in control. You just don't need to worry about it at all from any of these aspects, whatever it be. So some of the good tools, apart from what I told you from the emotions perspective, starting from body work, from Nourish body work, moving on to emotions, uh, writing down whatever comes to your mind, even if it is a 5 minutes of writing, journaling before, and specifically before, either before going to bed or as soon as you wake up in the morning, because this is the time when your pranic energy in the morning is at its peak. You have all the capacity, or your brain is working to a level where it has the capacity to think positive, to think fresh, or to bring or prop up new ideas. And nighttime is the time when you don't want to think about all those stressors that come up through the day. You really want to be in a relaxed state of being. So morning time and evening time, like before bedtime, is the time when your mind is really attuned to writing down, or bringing about thoughts that can really help you get deeper in terms of helping you self connect with your own self. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how so powerful it is. Like, I'm an author as well, and when I wrote my book, it did not come to me naturally, frankly. I mean, of course, it was few years of living this way of life. That's where I thought of penning down whatever experiences I had gone through as a part of my learning. But when I started writing, and when I wrote my book in 4 months, and these were 400 pages written in 4 months. And after 4 months, even I was surprised, where did all those words come from? I mean, I had never thought of it. It just flowed out. So do not underestimate what all goes on in your body and mind. It just get veiled. I can tell you, it just get veiled because we are so much surrounded with so much happening in our daily lives on a regular basis, that whatever positivity that we have in our mind, or whatever potential that we have in our mind, because it gets it doesn't have an outlet, it gets trapped in our own mind, it doesn't get an outlet, and until it gets out on the paper, it doesn't become a reality. So if we have a vision for Swarasya, if we have a vision for whatever program that we are running for you, it is not something that's coming on randomly. I can tell you, it's all written, and I have my books where everything is written. Each and every part of it is written. Rather, for the session that I'm doing right now, the pointers are written in front of me. So, whatever goes on the paper gets materialized, gets manifested. And that again has been my personal experience. So if you really want to get onto a level where your mind helps you achieve whatever you want to achieve. Now, this is beyond skin and health, but this has a very deep rooted connection with how you look and feel also, because the more you keep in your mind, the more you create a level of stress in the body and mind, where your hormones start to work in a negative direction. And when your hormones are working in a negative direction, all these conditions like PCOD, PCOS, all these conditions like weak immunity, all these conditions like shallow breathing will become a part of you. And when your emotions becomes when your psychology becomes your physiology, psychology becomes physiology, and it happens. Say for example, if you are sad, you will realize that you're not able to take deep breath, like your breath is shallow. And when you're worrying, automatically your gut is not functioning fine. So these emotions have a very very deep rooted connect with how these body systems function from within. And if these functions get disrupted at the physiological level, everything will show up on your skin and hair. So it is very important. Again, I'll go back to the initial concept that I talked about. A clean and free flowing body and mind is an ageless body and mind. So at the body level, you work on yourself on the dimensions of nourishing body work. At the emotion and self-realization perspective, which are dimension number 3 and 4, you work on yourself by actually picking up some practices that help you connect with your own self. And there is no better way than just writing. Even if you're not a writer, not everybody can be a writer, but all of us are educated. You can at least pick up a pen and paper and write down what comes to your mind. Like you have a dream, say for example, or you have a passion to follow, but it's still in your mind. Believe me, the day you start writing it, the very first step for, and this is what happened with me also, the very first step was just writing about what I want. From those 5 steps came another 5 steps where I figured out how can I do that. From those 5 steps, another 5 steps came up. Okay, now when is the best time to do it, and what are the best resources that I need to do? And that's how, frankly, I can tell you, we formed up Swarasya also. We formed up this entire philosophy. So whatever goes on paper, whatever emotions get onto paper, start to manifest in a way where it starts to become your own reality. And it also empties you. It creates a free flow that we're talking about, which is very very important for your appearance and for you to feel good at the body mind level. So this is again a very great tool to start writing down. If you don't understand what do I write down, even a better filtered way out is start to count down on, or write down whatever you feel gratitude for. Just 5 pointers every day. What do you feel gratitude for? Very very powerful. First day you will not feel the impact. Keep doing it for a month or 2 months. You will see how you will automatically start to see how lighter your mind starts to get, how lighter your emotions start to get, and with that lightness, how lighter your body also starts to get. And this is what you need actually to start to radiate from the inside out to your best capacity. So these are the first 4 dimensions. The fifth dimension is very dear to me, which we talk about, which is about energy. This is something that we feel but we don't see. Right now, energy is something that we all know, we all relate to. Energy, you don't feel good, or you feel like a couch potato, you feel dull, is nothing but that kind of energy working within you, not giving you enough power to do what you want to do. Right? And similarly, you are very active, you feel like going out, you're pursuing your passion and you don't feel tired at all, is another kind of feeling. So it's connecting to your energy is as simple as realizing how are you feeling. Now, the concept of energy, which is the fifth dimension, I you know keep talking, or keep put on that specific emphasis that energy concept is related to all the 4 previous dimensions that we've just talked about. the kind of foods that you consume, like the fried food in, example that I just gave you. Consuming fried food, after some time you start to feel more lethargic. What is it? It is nothing but dull energy ruling you. Now, having a glass of smoothie in the morning or having a lot of whole grains in your meals on a regular basis, you will start to feel lighter. That light feeling is nothing but another experience of energy inside the body. Now, this concept of energy is something that modern science does not relate to. It doesn't even talk about it. Why? Because science only certifies that that is measurable or that is quantifiable. Calories are countable. Proteins in a food or calories in a food or vitamins or minerals in a food can be lab tested and can be quantified and written on food labels telling you it has this many grams of mg of potency of whatever nutrients it has. But energy is something that science cannot write down, cannot tell you how much energy this food has. Now, this is a concept that macrobiotics, that traditional Chinese medicine, that yoga and Ayurveda have always talked about. Like if you get into Ayurveda, Ayurveda will never tell you that this food has these many calories or this food has this many carbohydrates and proteins. Ayurveda is not based on that science. Ayurveda is based on understanding energy from all these aspects. So just to give you a takeaway on what is it that you can do in terms of uplifting your energy, because if your energy is up, you will be at the peak of your skin, hair, and body health. I mean, that's the deepest most concept that I can talk to you about. And we realize that the way the day you're feeling more active, you automatically see you have that radiance and charm on your face. Or by the end of the day, supposedly you have to go to a party and you were tired, and you automatically feel that you don't have that enough energy to go to a party, and that reflects on your face and droopy eyes and dull complexion. So your energy has a direct connect with how radiant you look and feel. Now this energy gets impacted directly by the kind of foods that you consume, by the kind of lifestyle that you live. If you are sedentary, if you do not do any body work, your energy goes down. If your emotions are negative, your energy goes down. If you are not connected with your own self, like you are tired but your spouse wants you to go out, and you don't you just ignore yourself and you go out knowing that you're not well. That's lack of self realization, because you kind of gotten blown away by the situation that came your way without having a connect that your body was telling that I'm not in a state to go out, right? So that's another example of self connect or self realization. But if your foods are high in terms of consuming a lot of refined foods, a lot of sweet foods, a lot of high salty foods, a lot of processed foods or packaged foods or ready-made foods, your digestive energy will consume most of your energy. So again, it came to me as a surprise also when I came to know that whatever energy your body produces as a part of your food consumption or as a part of your exercising, it is 70% of your energy gets consumed by your own body in the form of digestion. So imagine you have just left it, even if you're consuming bestest of food, still you're consuming 70% of your energy to digest the foods in your next meal, and only 30% you have saved for your professional work, your enjoyment, or to be with your loved ones. And that's the reason in most cases today's times women are like highly fatigued. They don't have energy at all, because we are working, but we have played around with the foods in a way where most of our energy is getting consumed by our own system to process those foods. Only 30% is left, and that 30% is has to be distributed in different areas. How much will you use it? And ultimately your body will get into a state where it gets tired and fatigued. That tiredness and fatigue will start to play around with those body systems from within, bringing that capacity of their processing down. Ultimately will start to manifest as wrinkles, as pigmentation, as falling hair, as bloating, whatever outward manifestations that you can think of. So there is a deep rooted connect between the deepest most layer, which is your energy, to the outermost layer, which is your skin, hair, and body that we're talking about. But just to give you some quick pointers on how you can make sure that your energy remains to a certain level. When it is about nourish, make sure that you are living or eating an alkaline way of diet, or consuming alkaline foods. This is where you're conserving your energy. So that 70% goes down to a certain level where you have little more energy spared for yourself, for your professional work, and for other areas that you want to divert that energy into. Body work, exercise specifically when it is merged with breathing practices. And that's why, again, one of the reasons, same reason why I advocate yoga more than any other form of exercise, because so our source of energy, taking in energy in a subtle form, is our breath. And if our breath is stagnant, if we are not moving, if we are sedentary. We do not have enough energy uh, to even process those foods, and that's the reason for the people who consume bestest of foods but are not moving their body are still low on energy, because you create more energy the more you align your body movements with your breath, the more energy gets generated. So it's an automatic source of creating energy. From the body perspective, outside the body you create energy by being under the sun. So this concept of not getting under the sun is a very modern concept, and one of the major reasons why we are suffering from a lot of health conditions and body conditions, because we have stopped going out in the sun. Sun is the direct source of energy. The kind of foods that you're consuming, that energy in those foods came from sun only, because those foods grew up in the sunlight, and though they captured the energy of the sun, and that concentrated energy of the sun is there in the foods that we consume to produce our own energy. So which means when we consume foods, our indirect source of energy is those foods, and the direct source of energy is the sun. So the more you are out in the sun, the more you create energy. Then again, if you go back to the ancient practices, ancients used to tell that, after dinner or after meals, have some walk in wherever there is some flow of air, or after dinner walk is another way of creating more energy within your body. So you have to really focus on the areas that create more energy rather than the areas that saturate your energy. From the emotions perspective, if you're a negative thinker, if you're a fearful person, if you are more of a anxiety prone person, or prone to low feelings on a regular basis, it's saturating your energy. Even if you're consuming the best foods, even if you're exercising, but if your emotions are downward, do have this downward trend, then all that energy is getting saturated by your emotions as well. And that's why it's very, very important to be self-connected, to know yourself in a way. What is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you feel uplifted? And what is it that makes you go or feel down, or get into a state of low? So this is about these 5 dimensions, and these are some of the, how you join all these 5 dimensions together, which is about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. How everything comes together, and some of the takeaways which you can practice in your daily routine. Even if you pick up, say, 4 or 5 pointers that I told you and start incorporating it, you will definitely feel some changes happening. And the more you get deeper into it, the more you start practicing it, the more you start to understand these concepts, is where you start your journey of beauty inside out, is where you start your journey of living ageless on, and you build on it, like year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and you just keep building onto it regularly. So this is what I wanted to talk about. And of course, we just mentioned that it is also an approach that will also help you, give you a cleanse, because we've just gotten over with Diwali and a lot of festivities. But the same approach will work. It's such a phenomenal and an integrated approach that will work on you for any kind of conditions that you have, whether it is a skin condition or your hair condition or your body condition. It is not a fad. It is where your body is actually getting what it needs to be radiating, or to be to live to its best potential, whatever. So this is about this 5 dimensions. I hope that you could have some takeaways. um, I am done with my session, but before I wind up my session, I would want to just talk about our 7 days beauty cleanse program, which is based on these 5 dimensions only that I just talked about. So these are this was a level of awareness that is going to really help you if you start incorporating all, whatever takeaways that you're taking back with yourself. But if you really like this concept and you think that can really work for you, we have a 7-day beauty cleanse program, which it's going to be session batch 2 that we will be launching from 19th November. It's a 7-day program where we actually make you live and experience this way of life. So these 7 days is about giving you a diet plan, explaining you the concepts basis what this diet plan is designed on, so that you're empowered yourself in a way to be able to live this way of life even after you're done with the program. And this is a permanent way of life. If you understand this way of life, then you don't need to actually get onto any kind of diet pattern for a lifetime, because this is such a complete way of looking at foods that this concept is way beyond how modern science looks at it, or how what calorie diet is, or what protein diet, or what any kind of fat diet is. So we basis whatever my experience that I shared with you, we've come up with this 7 days beauty cleanse program, where we have incorporated these 5 dimensions in a practical way, where from day 1 onwards we make you live these 5 dimensions. So whatever pointers I've given you, we actually give you a pattern where you live these 5 dimensions and be connected with us on a daily basis for 7 days. We share the food list with you, what kind of foods you should be consuming, how you should be starting your day, how you should be ending your day. And we also, in those 7 days, we make you go through 14 yoga sessions in the morning, which is more of an active yoga sessions, which make your body rise up, and the evening sessions which make your body get into that deep state of relaxation so that your sleep gets better, and your relaxation mode gets better. And that's where we help you get yourself aligned to the nature's way of living, laws of nature. Within those 7 days, you start to see good changes happening to your body, and then you keep living this way of life and be connected with us. So if you think you would be interested in this kind of a program, I am sharing some details with you in the chat box. You can just check out this program and the details, and you can enroll for the program. The program costs rupees 2,500 for the 7 days program, living these 5 dimensions that I just talked about. But for till tomorrow, we are offering a 20% discount on the 7 days cleanse program. So if you enroll for the program before tomorrow, you get the program for 2,000, which costs rupees 2,500 otherwise. So yeah, I think I'm done with my session. If there are any questions or queries from your end, I'm there for another 5 minutes. I can take up any of the questions that you may be having, and then maybe we can wind up the session. So anybody having any questions, please, you can either send your questions to me in the chat box, or you can unmute also and you can ask me the question directly. That's perfectly okay. So anyone, any questions? So you can just raise your hand if I can just unmute you, and then you can ask your question, or maybe if there is no question, you can wind up the session. Okay, so Meenakshi says, I checked the timings for the 7 days program. Okay, so are there any concerns on the timings? Just let us know. Okay, so timings, I'll take you through the timings only. So the 7-day program, how it is designed is that how it is designed is that most of the sessions we are conducting either early morning or later in the evening. Having said that, if these timings coincide with your work timings, we'll be sharing the recordings for all of the sessions with you. So if you're not able to join any of the sessions, you will get the recording for each session immediately after the program, and you will be having access to these recordings for 30 days after the program gets over. So you can just follow the program basis at your own pace. That's perfectly okay. And our batch 1 has been a really successful batch. We had certain registrations, but I guess there were some people who did not even were not able to join even about more than 2 or 3 sessions. They have completed all of these sessions through the recordings only. So how powerful it is that beyond what we make you live through the program, we also teach you. So there are going to be 2 educational sessions where we take you through this entire 5-dimensional approach, taking you through the concepts. So once you take up and pick up these concepts is where you start to, so these are dynamic concepts. You pick up these concepts and you start to design your diet, lifestyle, and exercising by mapping all of it basis those concepts. And this is what makes you empowered. This is basis this. Once you start living your lifestyle, automatically then for a lifetime, you don't need a nutritionist or any health practitioner to come and tell you what is it that's going to work for you. That's how. So we give you a framework. What framework are you supposed to follow basis based on these 5 dimensions. So timings is not a concern at all if you come for the program, which we recommend, because that personal connect definitely makes a difference. Having said that, all the recordings will be shared with you, and we also will be creating a WhatsApp group where you will be in touch with us. So you after every session, whatever you do, you can. So for batch 1, we already have a group which is still running on, where people keep sharing a lot about their experiences, journey, recipes, yoga practices, everything. So we'll be adding you to the same group. So the more it grows, we are creating a community where people who live this way come together and join together to help each other for whatever extra that they keep learning. Of course, there will be support from our end also. I also keep sharing a lot of stuff. Will diet plan be according to body type or it's common for all? Okay, so see, when I talk of the body diet plan, the concept of diet plan as per the body type again is a very modern way of looking at yourself. What we are covering in this plan is we are working on a diet plan that improves your digestive functioning. We are working on a diet plan that alkalizes your bloodstream, a plan that that is detoxifying your liver, and all these areas that I'm talking about are these common body parts for each and everybody in the world. Like human body is designed this way. So when you work on these deep-rooted foundations, automatically whatever builds on top of it is of the best quality. So to answer your question, this program is suited for every body type in the world. Uh, Anybody who has a skin concern, or anybody who has cold or cough, or anybody even who has cancer or diabetes. Having said that, for specific health concerns, of course, some modifications are required, but those modifications get on top of this. So this is the foundational plan that's good for anybody and everybody on planet Earth. So it's good for everybody. Yeah. So any other questions, or else I think we can wind up the session, and we can just check the details on the link that I have shared above. To avail the discount, 20% discount, you can the code is mentioned in the chat summary only. The till tomorrow, the beauty cleanse is going to be the coupon code which you can utilize to avail 20% discount on the 7 days treatment. So, okay, if there are no questions, I think we'll wind up the session. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you had some takeaways for the session today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.